Hi, I'm Dan. I'm the founder and instructor at App Store School, and in this video I'm going to show how to create what's called a bundle ID for a new app in the Apple App Store. So first of all, let's talk about what we're going to cover. We're going to cover three things. We're going to cover what is a bundle ID, we're going to cover how to create a bundle ID, and lastly we're going to talk about where we use the bundle ID. So first of all, what is a bundle ID? So think of your app that's going into the App Store as your bundle of joy, as your baby that you've put your time and your effort into. And so your bundle of joy needs a name, and that's where the bundle ID is. So the bundle ID is a unique name across the Apple ecosystem of all apps. So of all the apps that you've ever created or are ever going to create, they're all going to have a unique bundle ID. And it's not just across your apps, it's across the entire Apple ecosystem. So every Apple developer across the planet who's created an app has a unique bundle ID that doesn't match any other bundle ID that any other developer on earth has created. So Apple has a suggestion on how to ensure that bundle ID is unique, and we're going to cover that in a little bit. But another important point about here is that the bundle ID is not the same thing as your app name. The app name that people see in the store is going to be something different. And let's take a look at an example. So I have an app in the App Store called I Love Dogs Sticker Pack. And it is an app that allows people to send stickers of various dog breeds in the iMessages. And you can find the app, and you can Google I Love Dogs Sticker Pack and find the app, or you can go to the App Store and find it, or go into your messages, and in the bottom area of iMessages, you can go to the App Store there and search it. So point being, there's an app in the App Store called I Love Dogs Sticker Packs that I created. The bundle ID for this app is called io.vptech.ilovedogs. It's a little bit cryptic, but that doesn't matter because the public doesn't see it. So, when you go to download this app in the Apple Store, you're going to see the title I Love Dogs Sticker Pack. That's the app name. And nowhere are you going to see the bundle ID. It's more of an internal thing between me and Apple to keep track of the app as we go through the process of developing the app and then publishing it to the App Store, as we'll see. So that is an example of the bundle ID. Let's go ahead and talk about where it's used. Okay, so it's used in two spots. It's used in Xcode, which is the free software from Apple that is used for making apps, and it's used in App Store Connect, which is a website from Apple where developers go to submit their apps to the App Store. And then, so let's talk about these two cases where it's used. Xcode first. So Xcode, again, that's that free software from Apple for developers that is used to create apps. And when you go in and create an app, you go into Xcode and do file, new product or new project. The first thing it prompts you for is what kind of app it is, whether it's a sticker pack or a game or whatever. You click that button. And then the very next screen is this screen here. Choose options for your new project. And there's only four things on this page. The product name, which is what you're going to call your product. Not necessarily the name in the App Store, but what you're calling the product in terms of Xcode. What team it is, and this is a drop-down based on some certificates. And I cover that in a different video. The third thing is your organization identifier, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then last thing is the bundle identifier, and that's what this video is about. It's about this bundle identifier. And you'll notice here in the bundle identifier, it's grayed out. There's no way to enter it here. And that is because Xcode creates it for us as a combination of the organization identifier and the product name. And so this is where Apple helps us make sure that we have a unique bundle identifier. What they do is they ask you for your reverse domain as your organization identifier. And what that means is you take your domain name and then reverse it. So an example, let's take a real simple example. We'll use Apple's domain name. So their domain is apple.com. So the reverse of that would be com.apple. And Apple is the only company that owns that domain name, and so they're ensured that their bundle identifier is also going to be unique. Now in my case here, I have a website for my company, Viewpoint Technical, and the website is vptech.io. So the reverse of that reverse domain is io.vptech. So that's my organization identifier. And then, so the product name is I Love Dogs. And then when we concatenate the two, io.vptech.I Love Dogs, we have a unique bundle identifier across the Apple ecosystem. And then one more thing on here. So in excuse me, in the Xcode project here, we see our bundle identifier show up in a number of places. And once it's created here in Xcode at the very beginning, it auto-populates all the other spots within the Xcode project for us, like here under the General Settings tab, under Identity. Here we have .vptech.I Love Dogs. Okay, the second place it's used is in the App Store Connect. And again, the App Store Connect is a website from Apple where developers go to submit their applications to the App Store. And you'll see under General Information, in this case, this is the I Love Dogs sticker pack again. There's a section called General Information, and it's got a Bundle ID section. And again, you'll see this name matches the one I created in Xcode, io.vptech.I Love Dogs. And under there's a question mark, a hover help, and it just points out that the bundle ID must match the one that we used in Xcode. So that's how Apple ties our app that we build in Xcode to the App Store Connect, where we upload the project for the store. Okay, now let's talk about how to create a bundle ID. And we create a bundle ID in another Apple page called the Apple Developer Portal. And the Apple Developer Portal is where we go to actually sign up to be part of the developer program. It's where we go to download Xcode. It's where we go to create our certificates so that we can certify our apps are created by us and not someone else when we submit them to the App Store, amongst other things. And so within the Apple Developer Portal, we also create the bundle identifier, the bundle ID, for any app that we create. And this is very simple. It's a very simple process. It only wants a couple pieces of information, just a general description that we use for our own purposes of tracking our bundle IDs, and then the exact name of that bundle ID. And we're going to walk through an example of creating that right now. And we're going to start by going to the developer.apple.com portal and logging in. And we click on Account. From here, we enter our credentials, our developer credentials from Apple. And then after logging in, we browse to the navigation on the left-hand side here, and we select this link here, Certificates, IDs, and Profiles. And on the Certificates, IDs, and Profiles page, we come to the left-hand navigation again and select Identifiers. And then the Identifiers page shows us a list of all the identifiers we've created before. So here are a bunch of identifiers for previous apps that I had. And on the right-hand side, there is a drop-down for other kinds of identifiers besides apps. In my case, I have only apps. So if I have like a services ID, if I select that, there's nothing listed there. So back to app IDs. I can see what I have already. So to create a new one, we click this blue plus button. So I'll click that now. And it prompts us which kind of identifier we want to register. And again, these correspond to all the different types of identifiers that we just saw in that last drop-down. Again, in our case, we're going to select this one here. App IDs is the first one. It's the default. The note here is register an app ID to enable your app extensions, or app clip to access available services, and identify your app in a provisioning profile. You can enable app services when you create an app ID or modify these settings later. Point being, for any app, be it a normal app or a sticker pack app, we want to select app IDs and then click continue. And in this case here, it is an app. It gives us two options, app or app clip. The default is app, and we're going to select that with selected voice by default anyway. And just click continue. And then on this page here, we want to register an app ID. And so under a description, I'm just going to type that this is going to be our sticker pack of popular cat breeds. And in the bundle ID, there's an option for explicit or wildcard. Let's go ahead and select explicit. It's selected by default. And we're going to note the note here. We recommend using a reverse domain style string. Okay, so for example, I have a website called www.vptech.io. I'm just showing it here. This is not the bundle ID. So they're saying reverse domain. So reverse domain is the .io first, followed by vptech, followed by something like I'll do a lowercase I-love-cats. It's complaining here, invalid identifier, because I'm just typing this as an example. So I'm going to delete this part, and it should be okay with that. Okay, there we are. Okay, it's happy with that. So again, I took vptech.io. I have a .io extension instead of a .com. If it was a .com, it would start with com.vptech. I love cats. Let me put an S there at the end. In my case, it's .io, and the reason for this is the this bundle identifier has to be unique across the ecosystem, and so by using our own domain name, which is unique, that reverse domain name, that ensures that our bundle ID will be unique across the ecosystem. So again, the two values here is a short description. This is a 50 character maximum. My description here is about 34 characters. And then the app ID prefix. Now, no, this is not the app name. The app name is going to come later. This is more for our own purposes, and just to creating a unique bundle ID. And we make it, my sticker pack will be called I Love Cats, or maybe I Love Cats sticker pack. But as we go through Xcode and select the bundle ID, we'll want it to be something that we can visually see that, okay, my bundle ID of IO VPTech I Love Cats corresponds to my sticker pack I Love Cats. So that's the naming convention there. Under capabilities, you select any of the extensions that are used by the apps. Everything from things like, I think I saw the map kit. There's iCloud there. There's maps. A sticker pack doesn't use any of these extensions, so we are going to leave all of them unchecked. And then we come over here to the right and click the blue continue button. And now it's prompting us to confirm. And again, under platform, it's iOS, macOS, tvOS, watchOS. In our case, the sticker pack is just going to be iOS. Actually, it's going to be iOS and macOS. But point being, the bundle ID, at this stage, we haven't told it that it's going to be a sticker pack. So at the moment, we have the flexibility of creating an app for any of these platforms, and the fact that we're only going to use a subset is fine. There's our description, sticker pack of popular cat breeds. This is an app ID prefix. That's my team ID. We don't have to worry about that. It's this bundle ID, this explicitly typed out io.vptech.ilovecats that we're confirming, and that looks good. And again, nothing is selected here. Oh, look at that. The in-app purchase is selected by default for us automatically. So is Game Center. I guess it gives us those options by default if we want to have integrate with Game Center or the in-app purchases. That's fine. We'll leave that. And just for curiosity, under App Services, there's two fields here, Music Kit and Shazam Kit. We are not integrating with either of those, so we'll leave those unchecked. And then back here on our navigation page, this blue register button is what we do to confirm our new app ID. And voila, we are done. So under our identifiers, we can expect to see I Love Cats. And I don't see that there. Let me refresh the page. Nope, don't see it there. Well, maybe it'll show up. Maybe we'll give it a minute. We'll go ahead and give it a minute, let it see if it can refresh. And oh, never mind. It is right here. Name. I see why I was confused. I was looking for I Love Cats because I named my I Love Dogs sticker pack under description. In description, I wrote I Love Dogs. Here, we wrote sticker pack of popular cat breeds, so my eyeballs didn't see this text. So we're done here. We're successful. And here, next to the description is the identifier. So the identifier will be used across our application to identify the app as we upload it to the App Store. And we'll see that in later videos. All right, and that's it. This step is done. And just one more thing, we can actually click on that in that list there, and it takes us back to our thing. And in fact, it looks like we can actually change it. So let's say I wanted to change it to I love cats to match the other ones under description. I'll just change it like that, and I'll click save. There, that's better. Okay, so in this case here, this description is for our purposes only. It's nothing to do with the actual app name. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as I love cats, just because that's the format I was using for some of the other I love fill-in-the-blank apps. And just one more point of note, we could actually remove it. If we were done with this or made a mistake, we can just come in here and click remove, and then it wouldn't be in the list here. And personal note to me, I've got to come in here and clean this up. When I was getting started with my sticker packs, I went through several iterations, and I ended up creating a bunch of identifiers that I didn't end up using. So I would be able to go in there to some of these redundant ones and click the details and then click remove. I won't do that here in this video. That's for me. That's my own homework for later on. But anyway, that's the step. Those are the steps for creating a new identifier, which we will then use in the rest of the process as we connect to App Store Connect rather, and Xcode as we deploy our app to the Apple App Store. And so to recap, in the video we saw what a bundle ID is, how to create one, and where to use it. So again, the bundle ID, again, think of that as your bundle of joy, the name for your app that you've created. And where to create it? Well, you create it in the Apple Developer Portal. And where do you use it? You use it in Xcode and App Store Connect. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like. Please leave a comment. If you can't think of anything to comment on, tell me what you're working on. For example, I'm working on, or my great idea anyway. Tell me what your great idea is, even if you're not working on anything. I was taking my dog for a walk this morning in the dog park, and I met somebody, and they told me their name, and they told me their dog's name, what kind of dog it is, and I promptly forgot it. And I was thinking it'd be nice if there was an app that I could track that. You know, I don't want to put this person in my contacts because I don't, you know, they're not really a contact per se. And I've tried to use notes before, but I've got so many notes in my notes on my phone that I was thinking, you know, it'd be nice to have an app dedicated to the names of the people and the dogs that I meet in the dog park. So anyway, that's my great app idea. Please come over to my channel, my YouTube channel, appstoreschool.com, and tell me what you're working on. I also want to tell you one last thing, that I have a course called Your First Product in the Apple App Store in Less Than 30 Days, No Coding Required, where we go through the entire process of creating an app from start to finish and publishing it to the Apple App Store. I give you the entire roadmap, the entire process, including things like the bundle ID, which we talked about here. I provide you the turn-by-turn directions, and I provide you a companion for the journey, namely yours truly, someone who's been there before, who can help you easily get your first product into the Apple App Store. And even if you're not a coder, even if you've never published anything to the Apple App Store, this course is for you because we don't do any coding. We actually use the sticker pack model, like the I Love Dogs sticker pack that I showed earlier, to create a full functioning app, and we don't need to write a single line of code. We just drag and drop images for our stickers and then publish it to the App Store. We walk through the very same steps that every other app in the App Store has gone through, and I show you how to do that with no coding required. So even if you're thinking, you know, I'm not a coder, or I'm not a developer, trust me, you can do this. So appstoreschool.com is where to find that. And one last thing, I'm offering a special promotion right now that everybody who signs up for the course gets a genuine Apple Watch band for free. And even if you avail of the 30-day money-back guarantee, you can keep the Apple Watch band. I'm so confident the course is going to work out for you. And everybody who completes the course is automatically entered into a challenge where 1 in 3 wins a brand new Apple Watch from Apple. So hurry, spaces are limited. Go to appstoreschool.com. Look at my product, my course, Your First Product in the Apple App Store in less than 30 days. No coding required. Once again, thank you for watching. I'm Dan, and I'll see you in the App Store.